We left off last time looking for ways which we could pass the time, since I think I let Kim go a little too early. I thought that things would take a little bit longer than they were going to, so now it's only about 5:30, and we have to, if I'm remembering correctly, wait until 9 before we can go see the smoker, and then 10 before we can go see wherever it is. 10 before we can go see the communists. So we're gonna read some books, do some things. I think this is
shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Whoever they are. Just, the greatest innocents.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Yeah, and if she likes it, I feel a little dubious about it. It's too bad I won't have Kim here to potentially give any commentary. Where's my items? I'm right past it. The Greatest Innocence. Looking at that cover, I know that's supposed to be Dolores, but I'm having a hard time making out her face there. Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, and you've got the lungs. That's the golden part there. Okay. That's such an odd, it's no more odd than any other kind of body part you'd see being used for this purpose. Because, in our world, you've got the glowing heart and all that kind of stuff. All the images of Jesus with the heart showing through. So, it makes sense, but it's still weird. All right, let's read the book. The Dusty Tome brings knowledge on the history of the innocences. It is written by one Joao Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego, a Mesque fascist, oh no, who tries to reach a conclusion on which the innocences is the coolest in the world. On which of the innocences is the coolest in the world? The coolest, huh? I hope that's what the book actually says.
The Greatest Innocence by Joao Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
I hope it'll take up a lot of time. Crack open this immense tome.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Well, the fact that I have gone around and learned a few things, I didn't pick this book up early in the game, makes me think I might do okay. We'll see. All right, sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence?
Dolores Day.
Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
That's so? All right, go on, give me all the hints you got. I didn't really read it. I didn't really absorb anything. The Pelican has it. All right, Encyclopedia. I know it's Dolores Day, but give me the hints.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement.
Thank you.
Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila. Now blast that first innocence.
God damn it, Encyclopedia. This is what I get for putting too many points into it.
Thanks for nothing.
Right? No, I know who it is. Don't worry, Half-Light. I got this.
Dolores Day. Dolores.
Oh, Pain Threshold do. Okay, Dolores Day.
Incorrect.
What?
Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons.
Really? That's not correct. I thought that Dolores was the first one. I thought that she was the one who started the whole innocence system. Maybe I haven't learned all that much from the game so far.
Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps?
Is his ex-wife called Dolores?
Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
About what, Dolores or the innocents? All right, I have enough healing items. I've got full morale right now. I can dig back in. All right, what?
A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this.
She left the Earth, Dolores? Or is this about the wife?
Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
Sola? What is Sola? I don't think I've heard that word. It just makes me think of the Isola. And wasn't the Pelicarnassian a place? Let's try Sola.
Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence.
Yeah, she sounds all right.
Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again?
The Pelicarnassian?
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
He introduced the gold standard as a way of measuring how much people love gold.
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence?
Strongest in what way?
Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Like, physically strongest? Alright. Encyclopedia? Give it to me. I trust you got my back.
An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general, at least the parts that matter.
Yeah, okay, so interesting, but I thought you'd give me the answer to the question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
So none of them necessarily have power because they don't need it, because everything they do is predetermined? No, I don't think that helps at all.
Damn. Great. Dolores.
Pain threshold, that's what you said last time. Is it because he's gonna have another moment about his ex-wife? Alright, let's go for it.
Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest. Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, la autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again?
The only term that I've heard, Franco Negro, is like, wasn't that a war? Or like an army of some kind? The Franco-Nigerian... Right? Probably that.
Correct.
Oh.
Named the innocence of militarism He codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the inter-isolari real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence?
Whoa.
Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
I hope you got something, because I don't know any of these names. Step on the despicable. I have a feeling, though, that I might know. Alright, Encyclopedia.
Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacian.
Right.
This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members.
Encyclopedia, please.
There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
Oh. He's still thinking about Dolores. God, if his ex-wife was actually called Dolores, a lot of weird little things kind of make sense, like how he wants to leave figurines for her. Like he's leaving little gifts for his ex-wife, hoping she'll come back or something. I'm gonna say Dolores.
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
What if I say it again?
No,
Ow.
stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
I was hoping they'd have like a little thing where Pain Threshold would like get a little angry or something. Step on the Despicable?
Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Ereno Pasternak. Would you try again?
So, okay, Kedra was a place, right? Because regent of Kedra, or it could, no, it could be the regent of a ruler who is called Kedra. Oh no, wait, what am I saying? It says right there, Stepan the Despicable is the regent of Kedra. Okay, I'm curious what Kedra is.
Incorrect. Kedra is a large nation in the mid-northern area of the Mawindi Isola, north of the Occident, between the Ilmarin mountain range and the Pacentic Mare Interregnum. Care to try again?
I guess it's Erno.
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra.
I like that Erno was the one who is into torture and despotism, but Stepan is the Despicable. What did Stepan do? Did it say it there? He conquered the known world. Oh, instead of the despotic Erno. I see. So he ended up doing the things that Erno would have done to begin with. Just, I assume, with less torture.
Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind.
This one's gotta be Dolores.
I've got it. Honest.
Okay, are you sure this time? Oh, hint me.
Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro.
You're absolutely certain of this?
0 doubts.
Really?
While it was actually her.
Let's say Erno.
Incorrect. He was a violent bastard, out to torture, maim, and kill whoever stood in his way. He was also a false innocence, disqualifying him from being the greatest and most important and most precious to humankind. Would you like to try again?
I know it's Dolores, so I'm going to say Franco Negro.
Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mesk, consider him a father figure, due to his militarism and nationalism, João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps? Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. My bad.
Encyclopedia, you are off your game today.
Yes, obviously. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-solary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. And more beautiful. And more beautiful.
Oh.
Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get an F for failure. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I did pretty poorly.
You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
And then what? Say out loud, damn you, you arrogant book.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Oh yeah, I got a breakthrough.
Apricot chewing gum scented one. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you in the dark like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world.
Okay, this sounds like a good memory. I mean, I know it's her, but hopefully you get some good bonuses. Betrayal lingers everywhere. Oh my god. Well, okay, what was it that someone was saying they hoped that I took? I was reading through comments just earlier today. Someone said that they hoped I took Jamais-Vu and what was the other? There were 2 others. Righteous Self-Critique was one they said that they hoped I took. And Art Cop, I think. Didn't I take Art Cop? I don't actually see it. Maybe I didn't. Actual art degree? Oh, maybe that's the one that would be. I think I just choose a lot of Art Cop things. I am thinking of dropping some of these though. Let's see. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. +1 pain threshold. Blood oxygen is boring. And psyche learning caps. Psyche learning craps, I almost said. Speed gives 1 psi. Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Do I have... What's my perception? I've only got 2 points into perception. I might drop Lonesome Long Way Home. The -1 to visual calculus and authority, that's kind of painful. Even if I do get +4 XP from left-wing dialogue choices, that one is good to have. Learning kit for logic, minus difficulty to all physique passives. I think that sounds pretty good as well. Just for the physique one. I mean, my logic, it's fine. I don't need that for logic. Zoom out distance and motorworks. Cap. I want to keep this one just because I'm going to be wearing that armor. And I don't know if I'll encounter a lot of people who are going to have armor on. So it might be useful, but maybe not. I kind of just want to be a feminist. I'd have to quit drugs, so maybe I have to drop something and like take that the opioid receptor antagonist or whatever. Let's do perception is nice. And I don't know what those two are going to give me. I might drop Lonesome Long Way Home. You know what? Forget it. That will be lost forever. I don't use speed, and I don't really need the perception cap raised. Forgot. Does it just remove it entirely, or does it like put it down at the bottom or something? Oh yeah, it does cross it out down there. Okay. So let's see. Rigorous self-critique. Just because that person said that they hoped that I took it, I'm going to take it. So that one... well, first we've got... This one is nearly done. 49 minutes. That's 10 hours still. And 6 hours. Okay. We have more books to read. I already looked at all I could on this, right?
Several maps. The maps look old and
Yeah, I did. Okay.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst the various books, you find one written, these three things are very important to the working class.
I've looked through all this, I'm sure.
The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Right, this is all the, like, the crazy, like, homeopathy kind of stuff. Interesting.
Various paranatural books still lit.
Yeah. Maybe that little shelf has something on it?
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective.
Oh, I don't have the
Murray.
reaction speed. Is there anything I could buy if I look through the display?
Crime fiction. These books was not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just
okay, so
doesn't
this
tell
did
the
have
truth
a...
at all.
Let's
Now,
say, oh god,
with
no.
shelves filled to the brim.
Oh, there's another little shelf down here. Maybe there's something I can buy here?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Hjelmdaler
Nearly all
man.
the titles contain the word Hjelmdal somewhere.
9? Alright, I'll buy it.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
Let's crack it open. A classic. On the frontispiece, an anatomically unrealistic muscle man is reaching into a mountain stream, yearning to touch his glimmering mirror image. His eyes are full of childlike wonder. On the blood-soaked snow right next to him lie two giant Zweihanders.
The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Hjelmdal standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two Zweihanders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
So I could say hell yeah or over the top. That does seem kinda much.
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Hjelmdaler Man, the man from Hjelmdal, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair.
I mean, that sounds on brand for this kind of book.
Naked women and giant swords. Is that really the best they could come up with? Feels formulaic and derivative.
I'm surprised I didn't get some kind of like feminist answer that I could say right here. Okay, check out the back cover.
The back blurb reads, "His latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Heimdall saga. Meet man from Heimdall, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet for the Northlands. For Heimdall." Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Eildal and the Necromancer's Treasure. Man from Eildal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Eildal, the Curse of Nacht Hera. A brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together old stories under a new title.
Ugh, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, like every time I see Square Enix put out something new, and it's just like they've just vomited up a new, like it just, not even a remake. They just have like thrown a little like crappy pixel art that's not even like set up properly, so it's kind of like fuzzy or whatever, to like re-release one of their old games. God, I remember looking at like the was it the Final Fantasy VI? I want to say probably the Steam release, maybe, and a lot of the background tiles were just not even lined up correctly, so they didn't tile properly, and it just looks so ugly. Not to mention just the art, the pixel art in general looked bad because you had just these really garishly colored sprites on top of like the backgrounds that were like the same color as the original, so it's like it just did not look, nothing meshed. The publishers must have a dim view of their readership.
Their main concern is the continuation of the franchise, not making literary history.
All right, let's take a look at the first couple pages.
The story opens in media res. The man from Heimdall and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering wights, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Heimdall and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. "It is an honor to die by your side, brother," Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades.
So I'm going to say that he's getting into it at this point. I mean, he's still got hours to kill. So, oh, they're really in trouble now.
9, Tyribald. The man from Heimdall bellows over the army of flesh and bone. "Have courage for the Northlands. For Heimdall." He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, he plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer. The writer has never held a sword in their life, let alone two-handed swords at the same time. It is physically impossible for a human being to effectively dual-wield Zweihander swords in any kind of real-life combat situation.
You're right, because Zweihander means two swords, or two hands. You gotta have two hands to... He would need 4 hands.
And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the 2 Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
Also thinking of like the giant weapons and stuff. Still, at the same time, I do enjoy things like Dynasty Warriors, where you've just got like completely unusable weaponry on some of these people. So, you know, in stupid fantasy situations, it's fine, I guess. Skip ahead a bit.
A few chapters later, the man from Heimdall and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments. This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point. The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to rid his kingdom of the Nachtherra, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers.
I was trying to work out what Nachtherra is, but Nacht, like night, and I guess Hera, like hair, like man? So the Nightmen, maybe?
The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
Hold on, why is the man from Heimdall doing any of this?
What do you mean?
Why is he doing all this?
Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Heimdall. Because his noble Cutlan blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied.
Is that all?
What do you mean, is that all?
Is there anything else to his character?
He is the man from Heimdall,
So no.
forged in the fury of battle. Death was his sire, and blood his dam. He had but 14 winters when he left his frigid homelands in Cutla to seek glory and honor. That is his character.
So at 14, he just became a barbarian, and he went off to fight. Okay.
He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Or is muscle and bone all he is?
Okay, but does he have any internal tension?
He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough to wield the twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, whose names mean storm and...
Yeah, I get that. He's strong and has big swords, but why should I care about his character?
What are you, a book critic?
Actually, yes, I'm a goddamn art cop.
Enough. You're ruining the pacing of the story. Now where did you leave off? Ah, yes. What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yesdar, where our heroes infiltrate the Nachtherra's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Nachtherra are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Nachtherra forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nachtherra's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Heimdall and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald.
Well, yeah, who else would it be? Like, even I was up there like, okay, yeah, this is where they appear. They're cloaked, all right? There's going to be a dramatic reveal. Oh, it's them. Oh, my God.
In an instant, the Nachtherra summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera. Oh, for fuck's sake. When the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tyribald remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nachtherra. The man from Heimdall's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
You gotta be kidding me.
What?
This is almost exactly the same as the first scene. Even the word gibbering is used twice.
In the first scene, the man from Heimdall fought a powerful necromancer and his army of the dead. Now he's confronting a pair of Nachtherra and their horde of orcanoid thralls. The two couldn't be further apart.
All right, fine. What happens next?
An excellent question. One easily answered by purchasing the next thrilling chapter in the Heimdallaman saga, Heimdallaman at the Gates of Tomorrow. The last page of this one merely reads, "To be continued." Considering the sheer amount of different Hiem Dalaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the sequel. The man from Heimdall
I'm
stares
not
at you on
particularly
the
upset by
cover. His
that.
face fixed.
All right, put that away. I mean, we spent a good amount of time. There wasn't anything left over here, right?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
I think that I bought everything I could from that. Do we have any checks we could run off and do? Oh. It's doing that thing where the cursor didn't want to appear. All right, I can't do that one because I don't have Kim with me. I don't want to do Titus right now. There's not much I can do. Was I supposed to come back and get the dice? Not yet. 8 hours. I don't know what to do with my remaining time. Still got like, what, an hour and a half to kill? How are you guys doing? You got anything else to say?
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
There's a lot of stuff I can't really do because I don't have enough skills. I would have to up my skills too. I guess all I really can do is go farther down over by the church and explore a bit. I just really don't want to do it without Kim. Can I like talk to someone and just like, even though I've done the conversation already, to just pass the time? You know what? I'm gonna go in here and just talk to Plaisance and try, and I'll just cut it out if anything else.
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
I totally wasn't expecting this. I was just gonna cut this out, but for one thing, the time doesn't actually go because I've done these conversations already. But I just got Dick Mullen's hat back. She found another one, apparently. I guess it gives it to you when you don't have one in your inventory, so that like the game checks if you have it, and I don't have it, so she must need to give it to me. A detective hat?
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Okay, that did spend 1 minute, and now I've got the hat. Oh, nice. I've got the hat again. And I don't have the -1 to rhetoric. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm gonna go over to the church, and I'll go down a little ways and try to talk to some people. So, yeah, I guess just down that way, because this is the boardwalk. Was it down this way that I could go farther? Yeah, I think so. Bars cover those long, dusty windows. What is that? Feld Electrical.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Ah, yes, their famous motto. A fine example of technological optimism from...
He says something, but the wind blows and you can't hear him. Turn away. Oh, money. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. Oh, wow. That's actually a decent amount to just find. Oh, and some Nosifed. Someone just stashed all their stuff over here. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. There's more people down there, too, so I can actually go farther.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officer, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I was just telling my son about this building. Not many people appreciate the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Like, the internet? Like HTTP? Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Alright, wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Oh, right, you were talking about the building. Go on.
Very important. Mikhail, say hi to the officer.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia.
Yeah, coming from you, okay.
Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about the empty old building? You look like someone with money. Alright, what's so interesting about this old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All three of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era.
Okay, this gives some interesting world building. 2 centuries ago, they had electronics. But still, in the current time, the radio computers are very, they rely on, radio waves and, talking to an old lady. And the technology is very interestingly anachronistic. It's modern, but it's not modern. And then nothing, it hasn't really advanced far. If they had electronics 2 centuries ago.
Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that, ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer.
I haven't seen any tape computers, though. I mean, in the real world, a lot of early computers did do stuff on tape, back before, like, even floppies really became a big thing. So, I guess they just never reached that technological milestone when this company, failed.
Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN, and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Looks like I'll be able to ask all these.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Oh, I have seen that in, postcards.
A wheel!
The kid looks wistfully at the horizon as picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here.
Oh.
Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Sounds like they were all killed.
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
He means they all got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. I kind of want to say it, but I don't want to, make him stop talking to me. Tape computers, right?
Tape computers.
He nods, wind tousling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
Well, the library is, I guess, right down the way. I might actually be able to pick it up.
I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
I don't think a lot of children are that interested in memorizing political documents from 50, 60 years ago or however long.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Now let the kid have his fun. How do those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Hughes joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Humpty Dumpty Dum Center?
It is a very funny name.
What the hell is a Humpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Yeah, what? Okay. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith, and Guy Juice, what are you talking about?
The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Hey, is your dad making this all up?
In fact, I'm not. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld Playback Experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. All right, something else?
But of course, what else?
You look like someone who's got some money. You have money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Can I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
Imagine this cop just walks up to you. It's like, hey, you look like you got a lot of money. And you're like, oh, I've got some money. And you're like, could I have some of that money? He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
All right. Thank you for the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Especially that money part.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
That's all right. He's just the type that likes to hear himself talk, right?
The suicide of Kraz Mazov. It's clearly a lie. Kraz Mazov didn't shoot himself. Reaction was on the counteroffensive. The State Day Palace in Mirova was surrounded. He was either assassinated or died in the bombing. You might even have evidence to support this, somewhere in your brain. Mazov was never given a state funeral by the communists. Some people even say the body that was recovered from the ruins wasn't his. There, good. Hero restored to glory. Carry on, comrade.
White check failures heal all morale. Oh. And +1 rhetoric. Man, that is nice. Free heals. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. Does this go right back over to... Oh yeah, that's... okay. And this also goes back down... Wasn't there a road up here? I remember there being a road. Oh, that was over in front of the house. Oh, right. I can't go that way. It's blocked. Okay. Wait, didn't one of these guys have something for me to purchase?
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too.
I don't remember what the medicinal spirit was, but I'll take it.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
If you drink this, then you'll die. That's a fact. And that's why we're going to save you from yourself and store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
Good God. Like the game is like, do not drink this. You're not even allowed to touch it. The liquid has an unearthly blue tint, the kind that might or might not, but definitely does glow in the dark. This is 98.7 pure alcohol. Keep it away from an open flame. Oh right, didn't he steal it from a hospital? Okay, I'll have to sell that to Roy next time I'm over in that area. Alright, I can't go up there. Can I cross that? No. There's a little ledge there. Tiny cages carefully constructed. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. I imagine those two guys are doing some kind of like archaeology thing. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Are they? Oh, they're trying to do. He's trying to start a fire. Oh, I see. Okay. What's that? A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. Oh, is this the end? I thought there was more down here. Also, can I pick up that bottle? No. Money. No boat in the boathouse today. Oh, hey. Oversized superstar sunglasses. Savoir-faire. Nice. Although, the mirror lies. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? That these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. I mean, I'm gonna stick with these just because I get way too much encyclopedia out of them. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Oh, a box. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Do I have more visual calculus clothing? I'll have to look before I do that. Even more bullet holes. Something has definitely happened here.
The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. This takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle fire.
Is anything minus visual calculus? Nope. Okay, I can wear that.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the
Oh,
cracked
that
wall,
really increases
reaching
it.
from one corner to the
I think it was
other.
like 50-something% before, now it's 83. So we got bullet holes in the plaza, the backyard, know about the revolution, and failed electrical. Alright, 83%, Harry.
Unable to piece together the big
God.
picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
It is cool, though, I got the heal. But I saw the heal come up, and for a second I was like, why did I get healed? And then I was like, oh, right. And then right as the failure came up, I was like, I get free heals now from failures. Fine, okay.
The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile.
Let's swap back into the perception, or not perception, the conceptualization clothing. The sign says entree interdit. I think that's how that's pronounced. An old ticker-take booth, no longer in operation. People pay money to park here? No one would pay now. It's doing the slow walk. Oh, hey, a bottle, too. Is that a Pilsner? Yeah. And more bottles. And some coins. What is that? Fallen Peepo Peepo. Oh, it's not that. Oh, there it is down here. +2 logic, ultimate peak focus, -1 perception, eyes on the road. The small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking fallen peepo hat give it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's eyes and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. So +2 logic, -1 perception versus +1 encyclopedia. Let's see how it looks. God, now, without the beard, his hair looks even worse. I think I kind of prefer him with the beard. So what does that bring my perception to? 6. Logic is 7, though. That was just encyclopedia, which is an 8. So, I mean, I'm still doing alright on it. Is there more to this? No. It's all broken down and shit. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. No, I think this is the end of the road over here. Oh, right, gotta go around. Nope. Come on, Harry. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Alright, boys. What are you guys doing?
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer?
Gary the crypto-fascist.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I am neither of those things, I can assure you. I am a by-the-books, clean as a whistle officer of the law. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicants. Yeah, let's do it. All right, drama.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
He pronounces it odd. His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, did they hire someone and not tell him how to pronounce it? Because that does not sound like how this game works. Because they've been very consistent in a lot of these kinds of things. You said Rebacol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
He nods solemnly.
The stupid way? It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake.
Oh no. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Oh, the Yellow Man mug. Forgot about the mug. Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
All right, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching? I mean, we could kind of appeal to his, respect of authority here.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
So it is really his mug.
You're not going to find me, are you?
50 real. I mean, he is a fascist. The maximum.
Oh, God. 250? How am I gonna pay that? Okay. I'll work harder. I'll pay it off. I promise.
This is a considerable expense to him. 1 month's wage, most likely.
Oh, that's awful.
And I'll never do it again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
Wasn't that a racist word?
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Okay, first, how did you get into the trash container? It was locked.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Oh, you better hand that over. I'll take away the fine. Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
That also sounds kind of racist.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, what happened? Or, okay, then what happened? All right, I'll be a little more patient. What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
That sound sounded like bottles clanking together, but glass beads on hardwood floor. Okay, what's that sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved, or don't mess with me. I think you know what I'm talking about. I mean, if I am aware of that sound, I've heard it before, but where? Alright. Go with the authority. Don't mess with me.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Gary.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you? Oh, is it the armor?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
Gary.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I can help your investigation, in my small way.
Only 28%. Do I have anything that can up my composure? Alright, first, are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
Oh, Morel's the husband, right. I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Like, on fire? How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
This seems unlikely.
Yeah, well, Revacol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago. That seems unlikely too, doesn't it?
Alright, whatever.
Super solid argument, Gary. Can't argue with that.
Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
Need to see if I've got any composure, so we can get this out of him. Anything dropping my composure? First off, the shoes. And what can I add to get more composure? Okay, those shoes. Wait, did I see one? No. Oop, too far. Okay. It's not much, but that brings my composure to 5.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
58%. Okay, that's better than chance. Come on, big money, big money.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature? Something worn underneath it? Probably that. Although I want to say this just for the joke. His massive musculature?
No, he's scrawny. Try again.
Something worn underneath.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see that you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You know, I don't feel bad about the 250 real ticket I just gave you. You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
You're working with a criminal, Morel.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
All right, give me that armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
This is like the one person in all of Revachol that Harry actually has authority over.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
He is. He's a criminal.
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
He shakes his head.
This is all he knows.
All right. Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
He looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. Thank you for your cooperation. All right, let's take a look. +1 pain threshold, thicker skin, +1 volition, borrowed confidence, but -1 empathy, mania of invulnerability. How's it gonna look? Oh, we gotta take the... with the bow tie. Oh my god. Harry, you look incredible. We just gotta get him at the helmet now. I imagine there must be like some, not greaves, because those are the greaves. I don't want to say pants, but thigh coverings, whatever those would be called. So we've got, that's electrochemistry and reaction speed. Let me see, what do I actually want to wear? I mean, I do want to wear this armor. What other shirts do I have? Because that gives me pain threshold and volition. I guess probably just the No, I'm going to keep that on. Now, do I want Inland Empire or what was the bow tie? Drama. So goofy. Throw that over the top. Right. Sure. Looking like a hot mess still. Put those back on. Great. Alright, I'm over time. So next time I'll talk to Morel and possibly put a point into something and go do another check, and then hopefully that'll bring us up to 21. Although also I could talk to Morel and then go back and talk to his wife. Lena, I think her name was. That should pass enough time that we can go off and find the smoker. So, alright, for now, that's it, and that's the plan for next time. So I'll see you then. Good night.